I, 18 male, dragged my little sister, 16 female, out of a party. Basically, I went to a house party and my little sister was there. When I saw she was there, I told her to go home, but she said she wanted to stay. So I kept my eye on her almost the entire time. But then I got distracted and I ended leaving with some girl for like 20 minutes. But I told one of my best friends to keep an eye on her. I come back, she's doing a line of coke with a group of people. I asked what she was doing and told her I was taking her home, and she said no. So I grabbed her by the arm and dragged her out of there. Now she's pretty pissed at me. She says I embarrassed her. I shouldn't apologize, right? If your 16-year-old sister is doing cocaine, you should tell your parents or another adult you trust. I will tell you what I told my little sister around that age when I ran into her at a bar. Granted, she was getting more into the hookup scene and not drugs, but it still applies. There are two types of guys you are going to meet when out doing what you are doing. First, you're going to meet the guys that think they're going to get lucky, find out you're 16, and have a problem with that and get mad at you. Mad drunk guys are never a good thing. Second, you're going to meet the guys that think they're going to get lucky, find out you're 16, and don't have a problem with that. Now you're in danger. Man, if I was your little sister, I'd be absolutely pissed at you, but since I did dumb shit like that when I was younger, I know I wish I'd had someone willing to do what's right for me, even if it made me hate them for a while. Keep your head up. You're a good brother. She's young and dumb. She's gonna fuck up. You did the right thing, embarrassing her or not. You protected your sister from a literal hard drug that has affected many people badly. She will eventually get over it. If the problem gets worse, that's when you need to tell an adult. Telling him now will only have her lose your trust and hate you. Your parents need to know this ASAP. If she's only 16 and doing coke, she is getting ready for a disaster. She needs to be in some kind of treatment now. It only gets worse. You did the right thing. Even if you think adults did be able to make the decision to use drugs, a 16-year-old isn't by any means mature enough to make that kind of decision. Telling your parents is almost certainly what you should do. The only exception would be if that would result in him being abusive to your sister, but no reason to think that's the case here. This may result in him cracking down on your sister's freedoms, but she probably needs it at the moment. Nope. You're a good brother. Neither of you should be at a party where people, including minors, are doing lines of coke. Having said that, you did the right thing getting your sister out of there. Now tell your parents. You should have gotten her out of there as soon as you noticed she was there. WTF. No, don't apologize, and if you do, say you're sorry you didn't leave with her immediately. I shouldn't apologize, right? No. What you should do, however, is gathering as much info as you can on drugs, their adverse, and talk to her about it. Does she know why she tried it? Was it her first time? Does she have enough knowledge on it? Don't judge. It's bad, but it's not the end of the world. She's a 16-year-old teen that got carried by friends, acquaintances. What she needs now is someone she can trust, you, who's firm enough to tell her, you fucked up, you did, and who's not going to judge her about what she did but make sure she has all the cards in hand to be sure what she's going after. And yes, you're a good brother. And no, I wouldn't tell your parents unless she refuses to talk and to get educated about drugs. Arrowwood is a wonderful website with a lot of resources. I don't see a reason to apologize. But she needs some morals that she believes in, so she isn't getting caught up in drugs and other things like that. I know at her age she wants to experiment and try new things, but there is a safe way to do anything, and drugs at a party is not safe. I dragged my then 17-year-old sister out of a nightclub. She was talking hella shit to me on our way out the door. I did not care and she did not learn. I was texted the next weekend from a friend she was partying at the same club. I sent our dad to get her. She did not talk to me for a month. You should not be there either. You did a good job, big bro. Cocaine at 16, no bueno. Not only do you tell an authority figure, not the cops, but find the people who provided the cocaine and beat their asses. Sick fucks. I think you could say, I'm sorry I embarrassed you, but I'd do it again if that's the only way I saw to remove you from a dangerous situation, or not. But I think it's okay to express some empathy for her feelings of embarrassment, or teasing she's getting, while holding firm that you think you did the right thing. Hell no. But don't cover up for her. Tell your parents and tell the parents of whoever was holding the party. You're a good big brother. I hope your sister realizes it someday. You were not in the wrong for taking her home, especially after the drugs, but showing some empathy about her embarrassment might be nice. Tell your parents. She's doing lines at parties. She could be assaulted, become an addict, etc. etc. Why are you two going on a party in a pandemic? Yeah, you should apologize. You were keeping an eye on her until you thought you could have a nice time with a girl. You should not have left her alone. Worse could have happened, even in 20 minutes. Well, seems like she's a yes person. Afraid of being disliked. Succumb to group pressure. What a group does, she must do to be liked. This can ruin her future. She doesn't see it, but hope when she gets older she understands how fucked up shit could be if she continues on this past. I know, I also had that problem. Had several group of friends, did all kinds of shit and illegal shit. I'm glad I cut contact with the group that did drugs eventually. Their life didn't turn out so great. What kind of friends do you have? You said watch her, not feed her coke and take advantage of her. You did the right thing and she has issues that need to be dealt with. She may be mad at you for a while, but she will appreciate it later in life unless she goes down the wrong path. You also need to fuck up whomever was sharing coke with a 16-year minor. Ask them if they're like to be railed in the ass by Bubba for a few years. Inform them you'll drop a dime in a heartbeat if you ever catch them around your sibling ever again, or you'll make them dig their own grave and you'll cover the body up when you're done. There will be those that say, I turned out fine, but there's 100x more that had issues with addiction from experimentation with hard drugs at that age or younger. My dad once tracked my sister down via following the line of friends' parents. She said she was at, I'm going to so and so. Then that kid said they went to so and so, till it ended up at the house where the parents went away for the weekend. Showed up at the party and carried her out. She hated him for a week or two, then calmed down. Eventually she grew out of it and realized it was stupid. Hopefully your sister also grows out of this and realizes it was more than stupid. I wouldn't apologize. My dad never did. If you don't want a cokehead as a sister, tell your parents. You're a good brother. It would have been one thing if she was drinking or smoking weed, but coke at 16 is kinda fucking ridiculous. COVID. You know a good way to keep her out of trouble is for you and your family to practice social distancing. You did the right thing, dude. And yeah, you should apologize, but only to say you should have told her to leave earlier. 16 and doing coke SMH, not a good direction. Being at a party and maybe drinking at 16 is okayish. Doing coke at 16 is not fucking fine. And nobody cares that she was embarrassed in front of high school friends. High school is the worst. By the way, is this a validation post? Some people are implying that you shouldn't tell your parents because their reaction might cause her to pull away and be more reckless. I think this is wrong. It is not your responsibility to make parenting decisions for them. Tell your parents, that's literally all you have the power to do. She's mad at you RN, but she's gonna change her mind in the long run. I wish I had an older brother like you, coming from a 16-year-old. 1. You should have taken a video or photo as evidence even if your parents were going to chew you out as well too. She's a minor who consumed an illegal drug at the federal level and that's a huge problem. 3. You have to admit to yourself that you and your friend are partially responsible for this dilemma. You for going off and your friend for not immediately reaching out before she took that potentially harmful choice. 4. You need to discuss this with your parents or a trusted grown-up. 5. As my own mother told me, until you're 18 you follow my rules. After that the door is wide open for when you think you're mature enough to be independent. You did the right thing, but she is going to absolutely despise you for a very, very long time. That's the reality of the situation. What you should do is slap yourself really fucking hard for even thinking about apologizing. If you want to set an example for her, you need to be really goddamn sure about what your principles are. Don't apologize. I wish my sister did that for me in my time of stupidity, to be honest. Definitely for no reason should you apologize. I'm sure that years from now she will probably look back and thank you for what you did. You should tell your parents about it though. That's a pretty hardcore drug to get trying to get into at 16 years old. Know the only thing you're sorry and apologize is you did what a big bro should be doing. Inspiration from Bridger Walker. And do tell your folks she'll understand in time to come. Take care. Good big brother. You did the right thing. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Telling the parents is a sibling choice and can be good or bad depending on parents' reaction, but you showed her you loved her by saving her from a bad situation, and if her life progresses better later she will thank you for it. Ouch. Have you told your parents yet about her actions? No offense, but what the actual fuck? I'd be embarrassed for doing coke, dude. It's off topic, but my dad ended up dying because of his lifestyle, which included cocaine addiction. Tell her she doesn't want to go down that way. Try to talk to your parents and your little sister's student counselor. And again, what the fuck? Good job, bro. She's lucky you didn't do worse in front of everyone. Definitely not okay. No need for apologies. You're a good big brother. Never take your eyes off her. Hell yeah, what a girl. Now she's pretty pissed at me. She says I embarrassed her. I shouldn't apologize, right? Frankly. Tell your parents and have them step in. If she's already at coke at 16, you've done your part, but it's time to hit the brakes on this car she's trying to drive off a cliff. There is only so much you can do for people who choose to go down this path. I have been on both sides, and if she wants to do coke she will find a way to do coke. Maybe she was peer pressured and will regret it, or maybe she was like, fuck yeah, let's get cocked out. You should just ask her if she was peer pressured or not. If she wasn't, then there's not much you can do besides snitch to your parents. That shit went from 0 to 100 real quick. You told her to leave and she said no. What other choice did you have? You have to come between her and drugs any way you can. I have been in the party scene my entire life, a few decades, and everyone I know whose life has been destroyed by drugs all started with a joint and a line of coke. People who say marijuana is not a gateway drug are stupid people. She only thinks she was embarrassed by what you did. Wait and see what a few decades doing drugs does for her ego. Apologies are for people who did the wrong thing. I wouldn't tell on her this time, but I would have a long talk with her so she is clear that if it happens again you are going to tell everyone you know. As someone who has a younger brother close in age, I can see why you're asking if you did the right thing. If it were my brother who did it, I would be just as concerned and furious, but kids do dumb things. This is not an excuse for her to do coke though, and you should not let it slide. I wouldn't tell your parents yet. Use it as leverage, but also let her know that she can confide in you, because you don't want to break her trust. Yeah, she'll be mad for a bit, but later she'll see that you were actually helping her. Who knows what could have happened had you not dragged her out? You could have possibly saved her life depending on the people there and all the other substances that could have been present. You did the right thing in dragging her out of that party. Please don't listen to any of these idiots that say to go beat the coke dealer's ass. They have never left the basement and there's a good chance that doesn't end well for you. Also, telling your parents deaf won't fix it. Unless they are amazingly understanding, just talk to her and make a firm stance. Maybe hold it over her head so she doesn't do it again. But damn, these people are stupid.